Alright, what's up everybody, it's your boy Dplays here. Today we're back with some more reactions. We're checking out the best cases for the Nintendo Switch 2. 2 minutes and 46 seconds, not a very long video. Before we get into it, don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe. Follow my socials in the description. All of that social media garbage. Subscribe, let's get into it.
The Nintendo Switch 2 is here, and this hybrid console is quite capable on the go. I'm going to take you through some of the carrying cases I picked up for my Nintendo Switch 2. This sling bag from Coops is great for storing Switch 2 accessories. Lots of pockets for cables, Joy-Con 2 straps, grip, even the dock if needed. You've probably noticed this bag isn't designed exclusively for the Switch 2, but storing it with Joy-Cons attached can be done. There's a nifty self-storing handle.
Just barely though.
Is soft padded mesh as well as the strap. It's really quite comfortable to wear. TechMat's AM case for the Switch 2 is a
I love how fast he's just running through them. No wasted time, he's just instantly.
That still has a pocket for a charging cable and elastic game card holders. The Pro Case Slim carrying case for the Switch 2 fits snugger with a soft lining. There isn't room for accessories, but I really like this strap that makes it easier to retrieve the console. So, which of these is right for you? Grip case.
Steam Deck case has that too.
Switch 2.
Yes, this is what we're really here for. I suspect this is the Dbrand one, I don't know. Maybe.
Enhanced grip and protection while gaming on the go.
Yeah, that's not the
First
Dbrand.
up, we have the Fintai, made of soft silicone.
By the way, the Dbrand one isn't in this. We'll just do a video showing that one.
And comes in a variety of colors like this vibrant red. Fintai also offers an EVA model. It's soft and chunky, like a certain shoe named for a reptile. Both Fintai models have the fun graphics on the back, space to store a game card or two inside. These are not dockable, so being that you're expected to remove them on occasion, this isn't going to be a problem. If you're looking for something a little sturdier, the Play Vital Protective Grip has this really cool knurled texture. And the Play Vital Meteor is the most rigid of the group.
Same with the Steam Deck.
Futuristic design. It's also...
I don't like the shoulderless design though. I don't like that look.
I was concerned some of the sharp plastic in the structure would scratch my Switch 2, but this didn't happen. Both Play Vital grip cases are dock compatible. If you're expecting to mostly play your Switch 2 handheld, either the Fintais work really well for you. If you need to use a dock, then hey, the Play Vitals will work just as well. So which grip case is right for you? Let me know in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and maybe someday YouTube will send me a plaque. Hey.
Keep putting in that work, my guy. Keep putting in that work. Alright, they didn't show the Dbrand one. So we're just going to do a quick, because I figured that would just be it. But apparently not.
The Dbrand Switch 2 Kill Switch case is the company's latest rugged, grippy case, bespoke made with compatibility for the company's line of skins. Now that I've gotten plenty of hours of use out of this case, I'm going to reassemble it on video and review it as I go. Let's begin with the controller grips, since this is the most drastic change the case brings to the Switch 2 experience. The grips slide on the controllers and fit snugly without any latches or adhesive. The key here is to ensure you get all the lips locked around the edges of the controller. If you miss some, you'll know it because they're easy to remove. If you did it right, they're super snug. Considering how little room Dbrand had to work with here, it's a miracle that adhesive is not required for the process.
I was just thinking that. I thought it would follow it more easily.
You can use the adhesive pads in the box, but this is a huge plus for Dbrand, since they're probably one of the few companies that don't require adhesive for the grips. Despite all this, there's plenty of room for the buttons to remain functional, while still providing enough padding in case you drop the controllers. The ergonomic difference these grips deliver cannot be understated. The Switch Joy-Con design was made mostly for a functional aesthetic purpose, while Dbrand's grips feel like they were made from human hands gripping a piece of clay. When the case is fully assembled,
That sounds like a good thing, by the way. And also, I think this is the prettiest case. I like when it has the lip around it. It just
It
Looks more
represents a
protected that
sleeker
way.
Steam Deck-like system with more aggressive contours on the handles, which I prefer. This extra contoured part is particularly useful because the right joystick is so low on the Joy-Cons and makes it easier to shift your hand a bit without feeling like you're going to drop the system or get thumb cramps. That might be the most important part. Also, unlike the Steam Deck, these aren't smooth, slippery plastic. They're nice and textured and give you a solid grip on the system. When the grips are attached, you cannot fit the Joy-Cons into the Switch 2's controller shell. That's fine because the grips are easy to remove, and this controller shell has its own grips anyway. Next, I'll quickly look at the screen protector. The only way this gets easier to install is if someone else does it for you. Absolutely brilliant design on Dbrand's part here, and the glass feels nicer than the stock screen with its pre-installed film protector.
I see a bubble there in the corner. I have one on mine. Super tiny, but I can see it. I have extra glasses, but I'm not removing it just for that.
Now for the system case. This is a semi-rigid rubberized plastic with a little bit of give and bend to it, so it's not like one of those cheapo clear plastic phone cases, but it's also not as soft as a TPU case. A lot of concern in the comments of the unboxing video from the other day was around this thin part at the bottom. Dbrand pre-applies adhesive strips to it in order to keep it from moving too much, but they're definitely not required. I used the case without these strips for 2 full.
There's some phone cases that when you first put them on, or the first few times you put them on, they're so tight. I love when the rubber is just super tight and snug. And usually when you install it once, you don't really have any incentive to take the phone off or out of the case again for months, if not years.
Never felt like it was going to fall off or anything, so I feel confident when they say these are 100% optional. This part of the Switch 2 is super thin like the controller lips, so there's not much room to work with. I left the adhesive on for another 2 days, then took the case off today to see if there was any residue. Thankfully, there is not. This is low-tack adhesive like Dbrand says it is. Once the case is on, you'll find perfect cutouts for all the buttons and ports. Every button is easily accessible, except for this little controller sync button, which I'd need a pen or something to press. It's fine by me, as I've never had to press it anyway, but it's worth noting if it bothers you. All the cooling vents are perfectly cut out, and the kickstand works flawlessly, just like there was no case on it at all. Dbrand ships the case with an optional kickstand cover that sticks to it, and while I initially didn't think it was very useful, Dbrand explained to me that the Switch 2's kickstand is poorly anodized metal and it'll start chipping with regular dock use, so covering it with this strip is a good practice. Obviously, I haven't had the Switch 2 for long enough to test that, but I'll take their word for it, because this is not really a big deal to cover it with. The fully assembled case adds 1 millimeter to the thickness of the system, and also adds about 120 grams to the weight. That's roughly the weight of 2 pairs of Ray-Ban sunglasses if you need a reference. The only things I didn't like in this kit are the pair of joystick covers. They've got a rough textured grip and add a little bit of height to the joysticks, which is good. I initially liked that feel, but after a few hours of Mario Kart, my thumbs started to feel a little raw. I took them off and found that I like the sticks better without the covers, even if they look nice and complete the aesthetic. I wouldn't say I have baby skin hands.
I love just customizing my stuff. I also have matching thumbsticks.
But maybe your thumbs are more tolerant of the texture than mine. Once the case is fully assembled, which actually only takes a few seconds from unboxing to playing, you can clip on the game holder cover with the included strap. The strap itself is well made, and the clip won't come off even if you slide it into a tight bag, which I made sure to test. It's also not going to fall apart if you drop it thanks to the shell-like design. Plus, the game cards are held firmly in and shouldn't fall out even if you drop the empty shell by itself. When unclipping the shell, you'll just need to tuck it away while you play. It would have been cool to see this thing hang off the top like a hinge, but I don't think that would be very ergonomic. You'd just store a standard case in a bag while playing anyway, so there's no real difference here between this and another type of case that you could stick your system in. Now, let's look at the dock. The dock that ships with the Switch 2 is quite tight, and has very little wiggle room for the system. This makes it tough to dock the system in my gaming cabinet since the Switch 2 is bigger than the original Switch. It also makes it nearly impossible to dock the system when there's any kind of case on it. That's especially true since the kill switch only adds about a millimeter to the overall system size. So Dbrand came up with this clever little dock adapter that slides into the dock so that you can dock the system onto that adapter instead of in the tight.
Nice.
The construction and ventilation design are very similar to the stock dock, allowing the system to properly cool itself. Contrary to early speculation, the dock doesn't actively cool Switch 2. The fan inside it is just to keep the dock's electronics from overheating. It doesn't actually do anything for the system. If anything, this dock adapter probably helps the Switch 2 stay cooler, since the front of the system is now open for additional heat dissipation. The adapter design also ensures that you don't need to reconfigure your dock. Just slide the adapter in and dock the system. It's plenty stable too, and forcefully pushing the system doesn't result in it falling over. Now, it's a cinch to dock the Switch 2 in my gaming cabinet. I mean, really, I couldn't be happier with this design. I'm planning on testing some other cases for this system.
Why does it look like from this angle that the screen protector is
Seeing how they
peeling?
work, but based on the designs I've seen so far, this one feels the most complete, and I love the grips so much that I really don't want to use most of the other designs I've seen. Overall, a seriously excellent case that I would buy again if I were to get a second Switch 2. It's a bit more expensive than a generic case you can get from Amazon, but I think the quality difference shows, both in the construction and the ergonomics improvements over just a simple protective case. All of the extra parts of the Ultra Kit are worth the money in my opinion, even if I thought the thumb grips were a little too rough for my liking.
That's such an abrupt ending. Yeah guys, so that was it. That was my reaction to Switch 2 cases. Hope y'all enjoyed. See y'all in the next one. Goodbye.